Hi, I'm Cassidy. At 32, I thought I had it all figured out. A successful luxury home business, a charming husband, and the kind of life most people only dream about. My morning ritual always started with checking the listings while Derek got ready for his hospital rounds. Babe, that beachfront property just sold for $2.3 million, I called out, scrolling through my laptop. That's great, honey. I've got back-to-back surgeries today. Might be late. I watched him adjust his tie in the mirror, same routine for the past 5 years. But lately, something felt off. The way he'd check his phone under the table, how his stories about work didn't quite add up. Hey, Cass! My younger sister Madison burst through the front door, right on time for our weekly coffee date. I brought those fancy beans you love. You're the best, Maddie. Come on in, the scones are still warm. We settled into our usual spots on my kitchen island. These coffee dates had been our thing since she moved back to town 6 months ago. Madison worked at the hospital with Derek, which made our lives nicely intertwined. So how's the new listing going? Madison stirred her coffee, watching me with those big, sister-adoring eyes. Actually, I need to call Rachel about that. Speaking of, my phone buzzed. Perfect timing. Cassidy, we need to talk. Rachel's voice had that tone she used when something wasn't right. Your husband was at the Grove yesterday. He had surgeries all day yesterday. Well, unless he performs surgeries at upscale restaurants, something's not adding up. He was with someone. My stomach tightened, but I kept my voice steady. I'll look into it. Coming by the office later? Yeah, and Cass, be careful. I hung up, noticing Madison was unusually interested in her phone. She'd been acting weird lately, too, canceling plans, being secretive. Everything okay? She asked, not quite meeting my eyes. Just business stuff. I reached for my coffee, bringing it to my lips when something caught my attention. A strange, almost bitter almond smell that definitely wasn't from Madison's fancy beans. Maddie, want to try mine? I think I made it too strong. Oh, no thanks. I like mine just how it is. I set my cup down, watching her hands shake slightly as she lifted her own mug. 5 years of marriage, 32 years of life, and suddenly everything felt wrong. My perfect life, my loving husband, my adoring sister. What else wasn't what it seemed? My heart pounded as I casually reached for her cup instead of mine. Actually, let me try yours. Those beans smell amazing. The slight panic in her eyes told me everything I needed to know. My sister's coffee cup now sat in front of me, and I had no intention of drinking a single sip. I watched Madison take a long sip from what was supposed to be my coffee. Within minutes, her face turned pale. I don't feel so good. Maybe it's those fancy beans you brought, sis. I kept my voice steady, already dialing 911. What did you do? Her words slurred as she gripped the counter. Funny, I was about to ask you the same thing. The ambulance arrived in minutes. As they loaded her onto the stretcher, I held up the coffee cup. Make sure they test this. Something's not right with it. At the hospital, Detective Martinez pulled me aside while they pumped Madison's stomach. The preliminary tests showed traces of antifreeze in the coffee. Care to explain? That cup was meant for me. Ask my sister why she brought special coffee to our weekly date. Where's your husband, Mrs. Reynolds? Derek's doing surgeries. Though lately, I'm not sure about anything he tells me. I'll need access to your house. My friend Rachel's meeting us there. Back home, Rachel was already waiting. Cass, you okay? I saw the ambulance earlier. Let's just say my sister drank her own poison. We split up to search the house while Detective Martinez watched. I headed straight for Derek's home office. Found something, Rachel's voice carried from our bedroom. I rushed upstairs to find her holding a burner phone she'd discovered taped under Derek's dresser drawer. Check the messages, I whispered. My hand shook as I read through dozens of texts between my husband and sister. Meet me at our usual spot. Cass thinks I'm in surgery. The antifreeze is tasteless in coffee. Just a few sips. Once she's gone, the insurance pays double for accidental death. Detective Martinez photographed everything. There's a $5 million policy on you, taken out 3 months ago. When Madison moved back to town, I said, the pieces clicking into place. Rachel opened my laptop, pulling up our home security footage. There they were, my husband and sister, planning my murder in my own living room while I was at work. Look at the date stamp, Rachel pointed. The day before he claimed to be at that medical conference. My phone buzzed. Derek. Hey babe, heading home early. Everything okay? Heard about Madison? Actually, could you meet me at the house? There's something we need to discuss. Of course. Love you. I ended the call, turning to Detective Martinez. He's coming home. What's the plan? We'll be waiting, but you need to get somewhere safe tonight. Rachel grabbed my hand. You're staying with me. Already packed a bag for you. I looked around my perfect house, at the photos of my perfect life. All this time. We'll get them both, Rachel promised. But right now, we need to go. As we drove away, I watched police cars quietly roll up to my house, waiting to greet my husband. My phone kept buzzing with messages from Derek, each one more urgent than the last. Babe, almost home. Where are you? The police are here. What did you do? I turned off my phone, leaning back in Rachel's car. My perfect life was a lie, but at least I was alive to find out the truth. From Rachel's guest room, I watched Detective Martinez lay out the surveillance plan on the coffee table. Your husband made bail this morning. Madison's still in the hospital under guard. But she'll be released soon. They're definitely going to try again, I said, pacing the room. They're too close to just give up. That's exactly what we're counting on. Mike, show her what you've set up. Rachel's brother adjusted his laptop screen. I've rigged your house with hidden cameras and microphones. Top-of-the-line stuff. They won't find these babies. I also need you to come by the station, Detective Martinez added. Dr. Chen's got the toxicology results. At the police station, Dr. Sarah Chen spread out her reports. The antifreeze was medical grade, Cassidy. Only someone with hospital access could get this. Can you trace it? Better. I found discrepancies in Derek's medical supply logs going back months. He's been stockpiling. A notification popped up on Mike's tablet. They're at your house right now. We huddled around the screen, watching Derek and Madison in my kitchen. She switched the cups somehow. Madison's voice crackled through the speaker. We need something faster this time. No more games. Derek paced the kitchen. I've got access to potassium chloride. 1 injection. Looks like a heart attack. What about the family dinner tomorrow night? Perfect. Everyone will see her collapse. Totally natural. I turned to Detective Martinez. Let's take them down at dinner, in front of everyone. The next evening, I walked into my parents' house, wearing a wire. Mom rushed to hug me. Oh, honey, we've been so worried. Derek said you had some kind of breakdown? Let's talk about it over dinner. Everyone settled around the table. Mom, Dad, Derek, Madison, fresh from the hospital, even Aunt Julie. Detective Martinez and her team waited outside. Before we eat, I stood up. I have something to share. I pulled out my phone, playing the kitchen recording. The color drained from Derek's face. That's taken out of context. Context? Like the antifreeze Dr. Chen found in your supplies? Or the burner phone? Or maybe the insurance policy? Madison jumped up. He made me do it. It was all Derek's idea. Mom dropped her fork. What are you talking about? Your precious daughter and my loving husband tried to poison me, twice. Dad slammed his fist on the table. Is this true? I can explain, Madison started. No need. I nodded toward the window. Detective Martinez and her team burst in. Derek Reynolds, Madison Carter, you're under arrest for attempted murder and conspiracy. As they were cuffed, Mom collapsed into Dad's arms. Madison, how could you? She always had everything. The perfect life, the perfect house. And you'll have the perfect cell. I cut in, watching them being led away. Dad turned to me, tears in his eyes. She's not our daughter anymore. I squeezed his hand, watching my sister and husband take their final walk of shame. Sometimes justice comes served on a dinner plate. The courtroom fell silent as the judge prepared to deliver the sentence. 6 months had passed since that dinner, and now everything would change. Based on the evidence presented, including Dr. Chen's testimony about the systematic theft of medical supplies and the premeditated nature of this crime. The judge peered over his glasses at Derek. The court sentences you to 15 years for attempted murder and conspiracy. Derek turned to face me in the gallery. Cass, please. As for Madison Carter, the judge continued, 12 years for your role in this conspiracy? You've ruined my life, Madison screamed at me. You tried to end mine. Outside the courthouse, Rachel hugged me tight. Ready to focus on the future? The luxury homes aren't going to sell themselves. Speaking of which, I just landed the Riverside development. That's my girl. But first, there's someone who wants to talk to you. Dr. Chen approached with a thick folder. The medical board wants your testimony. We found evidence of Derek tampering with other patients' medications. Schedule it. He doesn't deserve to practice medicine ever again. 3 months later, I sat in the prison visiting room. Derek arrived first, orange jumpsuit matching his deflated ego. You look good, Cassie. Save it. I'm only here because you said it was important. I never stopped loving you. Funny way of showing it. How's that medical license working out? Please, just listen. No, you listen. The business is thriving without you. That development you said would fail? Sold out. I'm dating someone new. Someone who doesn't try to murder me over breakfast. Madison was brought in next, already crying. Sis, I'm so sorry. I was jealous and stupid. We're not sisters anymore. Mom and Dad made that clear at Christmas. What do you want from us? Derek asked. Nothing. I came to tell you both that I'm selling the house. Your precious murder plot paid for a beachfront property. Rachel and I are expanding the business statewide. You can't just leave us here, Madison pleaded. Watch me. Oh, and Derek, remember that insurance policy? I donated it to a domestic violence shelter. They're naming a wing after me. I stood up, straightening my designer blazer. Don't contact me again. Don't write, don't call, don't send messages through lawyers. You both died the day you tried to kill me. Walking out of the prison, I spotted Rachel waiting in her convertible. How'd it go? Better than therapy. Speaking of better, that hot contractor called about the marina project. Mike did the background check. Clean as a whistle, unlike your ex. I laughed, feeling lighter than I had in months. You know what? I'm ready for that coffee date you promised. Don't worry, I made it myself. No sisters or husbands involved. We drove off, leaving the prison and my past behind. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just surviving, it's thriving. What would you do if you discovered that not one but 2 of your closest family members had been secretly plotting your death? Would you ever be able to forgive a sibling's betrayal? Or is Cassidy right that some bonds, once broken, should stay shattered forever? Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you have confronted them at a private meeting? Or do you agree with Cassidy's choice to expose them at the family dinner? What would your revenge look like? If you enjoyed this tale of betrayal and justice, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more gripping stories that explore the darker side of family relationships. Your support helps us bring more intense stories like Cassidy's to life.